I'm joined now by Democratic Congressman from New York, Gregory Meeks. He's the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. So, Congressman, take me inside your discussions earlier today in caucus about this bill and the decision Democrats ultimately made to come out and support it.
Well, you know, House Republicans can't get out of their own way. But what was important for Democrats is we thought it would be devastating to have a shutdown. But we had to make sure that the spending levels was at the levels that was agreed upon during the debt ceiling debate. And that was a big issue that happened before because they were trying to do a 30% cut across the board previously. And so with this agreement, where it appears to be that the debt ceiling levels are going to move forward in a CR, that it is something that we will be able to support. We'll see what kind of votes or what, you know, the Republicans change their mind or not in that regard. But that is the key right now, to keep the government open, because it'll be more devastating to close it, as long as the funding levels are at the same levels of which we had agreed upon previously during the debt ceiling negotiations.
This bill doesn't have money in it for Israel or for Ukraine. I know you are somebody who wants to see aid to both countries. What's your sense of the timetable, A, for when they really need to start seeing American aid start flowing again, and then B, when Congress might actually be able to get it to them?
Well, we need to do it right now. We needed to do it yesterday. It is significantly and important that we've got to pass the supplemental to get the aid to Israel, to Ukraine, for humanitarian aid, for Taiwan and the South Pacific. That needs to be done right now. And unfortunately, you know, that the Republicans have refused to do that. So my hope is that we will consider a supplemental as soon as we get back from the Thanksgiving break. But whether, you know, I met today with the chief of staff to President Zelensky, who says they need it right now. Over the weekend, I was in Israel, and we talked to Prime Minister Netanyahu, who said they need it right now. If you look at the situations on the ground with reference to humanitarian aid and making sure that innocent Palestinians are getting what they need to try to survive, they need that right now. So it is just, and China is watching what we do here, and so to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to protect Taiwan, we need to do that right now. So I think it's a huge mistake that we're not doing a CR that includes the supplemental for basically what our national defense issues are.
Well, it was interesting because Speaker Johnson talked about this today. He basically argued the House has done what they're going to do. Listen to what he told reporters.
It was 2 weeks ago, of course, that a bipartisan group of House members passed our substantive and immediate aid to Israel. We thought that was important. It was the first big thing that I did when I became Speaker. It should have already soared through Congress. It should be signed into law, but it's not. And so we're calling on the Senate to get serious about this and get serious about supporting Israel.
Now, I assume he knows that what was attached to this bill would have made it politically poisonous in the Senate. But are you now stuck in a situation where House Democrats have to just kind of pin your hopes on the Senate to come up with a global compromise? Because Mike Johnson is saying, we're done.
Well, it's clear that the dysfunctional MAGA Republicans, of which Mike Johnson represents, doesn't care. They don't care about Israel, because they made a condition upon Israel funding, which has never happened before. But they put conditions on it, did not include Ukraine, and want to hold Ukraine blackmail for other issues, did not include Taiwan, did not include humanitarian aid. So it is clear who is the problem. So yes, we are dependent upon the Senate to come with a bipartisan bill that will include all of those things, and then hopefully the Speaker will put the bill on the floor so that we can vote for it. I am convinced that if we had a vote on the floor, that we would be able to pass all of those bills as the President has requested. But it's the MAGA Republicans that are withholding and preventing that from happening. And it squarely falls on their shoulders that they're not doing in a timely fashion what needs to be done right now for our national security interests and for the support of our allies.
Can we go back to sort of 30,000 feet here for a minute? Because I feel like these things are related. I mean, you talked at the beginning about the way that the House Republicans have had to move this spending bill forward. I feel like it shows up here, too. that they can't move basically anything on their own. How has that changed the dynamic in the House, which is normally a majority party says the word go, everybody else just has to go along with it? Does it feel like you're in functionally a coalition government, like Democrats have a little more power, a little more say than they should, because the other side just can't get out of their own way?
Well, look, they're divided. You heard from their own mouths that this was a clown show. This wasn't from Democrats, from Republicans among themselves. And if you just look at where we were from the beginning of the Republican leadership in January to where we are now, we've not really accomplished anything that's major to get done here in Washington. Unlike when Democrats were in control with a small majority also of just 5, we were able to do monumental things to get done. And so, look, I think ultimately the American people will decide in 2024 whether they want the dysfunction of which they see today or whether they want to put people over politics, as Democrats are doing, so that we can move forward for the American people. Our thought on the Democratic side is people over politics. What helps people in America? What helps, support our allies? How do we bring all of that together? And how do we make sure that we are defending ourselves from our adversaries? That's what the Democrats are talking about. The Republicans are just, they are just in disarray, can't get out of their own way, don't know how to move forward or how to pass legislation. So it completely makes the House to break down, and we can't do any of the things that we should be doing for the people.
Congressman, last question I think I'll have time for you, but we showed the president arriving in San Francisco a little while ago. What are you looking for out of this Biden-Xi meeting? There's been a ton of buildup. What do you want to see come out of this week?
Well, I think that the president is going to be stern with President Xi, but, we're in a competitive situation, and letting him know, what we need to do in moving forward in this competition so that there's no lines crossed and so that there's no miscalculations on either side when it comes to the South China Seas or Taiwan. So it is important for the president to have conversations with our adversaries. So it is not just talking to our allies, but talking to our adversaries and talking to them straight and letting them know what we expect and how we look forward to moving forward and leveling and having a flat playing field as we talk about the kind of economic competition that we're in. And so I think it's a very good and important thing that the president is doing. And I hope if we're out of here in time to get out to San Francisco myself to meet with some of the legislative members of the various countries in the South Pacific to have that same kind of dialogue and conversation.
Congressman, not that I don't love spending time with you all, but I hope you're out of here in time to get out there, too. Thank you for coming on, and I'll let you get back into the chamber and go vote. Congressman, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.